We are back here on Girl Talk, and I love it when we're at Beaufort Memorial. It's wonderful. Today we're going to be interviewing Dr. Stuart Smalheiser. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
It has been a ball talking to him before we even got started. It sounds like a 16-month-old young man is in your life right now.
Yes, he is. He's definitely keeping us busy. The love of my wife and my life. Sydney, he's been a blessing for us.
He's adorable.
Thank
He
you.
really is. Thank you for joining us too. You are an interventional cardiologist, and I'd like to really ask you to define a little bit about what that means, because I think there's a broad spectrum within cardiology, and you are very specialized.
That's correct. So ultimately, I wear a lot of different hats during the day, and I do everything from seeing patients in the office, to taking care of people in the intensive care unit, to do consultations, but as well as that, I also do procedures. And some of them are life-saving. Ultimately, we have a heart attack program at Beaufort Memorial Hospital that we started several years ago, and my job as an interventional cardiologist is when someone comes to the emergency room with a heart attack, it's my job to hopefully save their life. And so if you come to our hospital with a heart attack, we have a team that mobilizes 24 hours a day, 365, Christmas and New Year's and Valentine's Day included. And we're in the cath lab, within minutes. And my job is to open up your artery that's closed down, that's causing your heart attack. And we've been very successful in our program at getting that artery open in a very, very fast time, and very successful. More importantly than your artery being open, getting patients out of the hospital safe and sound.
And it was really interesting, as we were talking before, when they come to you, it's usually they're in a critical way. Okay.
That is correct.
Your goal, you said, which was kind of interesting, your goal is to get them back up and functioning, living activities of daily life.
Right. And my focus is purely on the patients, their quality of life, and obviously their longevity of life as well. But I want people to go back to their normal life and enjoy. And the faster I can get that artery open, the better I can take care of them, and ultimately in the hospital and then in the office, so that they can go back and play golf and go shopping and have fun with their family, the better. And if I have to see them every 3 months or 6 months, briefly,
so be it.
So be it. But I want them to get back and enjoy their life.
Two things I think are important to point out. You are board certified.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were one of the beginning founders of this heart attack program, which is a big deal. Talk to me a little bit about technology and how it's improved the longevity and the life expectancy of people who have heart attacks or heart disorders.
So even compared to when I was in training, technologies moves so fast in my specialty and in cardiology in general. We always have to keep up to date. And even when you say I'm board certified, that's one test at one point. But there's not a day that goes by where I'm not looking on my phone or checking the internet for new research or new technologies. Our hospital is always interested in adding more. That more technologies and more procedures and to improve patients' quality of life.
What would be something that we as lay people would recognize that someone who is an interventional cardiologist does? Is that pacemakers? What does all that look like?
So during a heart attack, we ultimately open up your artery with a balloon, but then usually putting a stent into your artery. So, angioplasty and stents are kind of the cornerstone of interventional cardiology. But there's a whole host of other things that we do from doing procedures. A lot of interventional cardiologists put pacemakers and defibrillators, and some other heart rhythm doctors also do that. There's also a lot of other procedures we do in the lab that are not just therapeutic but also diagnostic. So we do heart caths. We measure pressures in the heart, and then certainly other procedures that are a lot more specialized for very special reasons. We certainly do those as well.
What's a typical day for you with your population here?
So I definitely. I'm definitely an early bird, and my patients will definitely say that I saw Dr. Smalheiser pretty early in the morning. So, I'm usually at the hospital at 6:30 in the morning, which is good because I have a 16-month-old, and he's up at 5:30.
So you're making rounds then.
So basically, as soon as my kid gets up and I get him, dressed and fed in the morning, and ready for my wife to take him to school, and that's, by the way, that's job number one, is to make sure my kid's up and ready and fed.
Oh, that's so wonderful.
But after that, certainly my job is to get to the hospital early, and usually I'm the first car in the parking lot. I usually see patients in the morning,
okay,
and oftentimes I do procedures in the morning early. After that, I'm usually in the office for the vast majority of the day, seeing patients here at Low Country Medical Group.
Perfect.
And then if there's certainly emergencies, they take priority.
Yes.
And after that, if I have to go back to the hospital, I'm usually back there.
You do that too. I know we've only got about a minute left, and I really want to talk a little bit about the group. You have a fabulous group here. We want to make sure we know how to get a hold of you too.
Okay. So I work at Low Country Medical Group, which is located in Port Royal. We're centrally located, maybe 15-20 minutes from Bluffton and Okatee, or certainly within a couple of minutes of downtown Beaufort.
Certainly easy to get to.
Yeah, there's minimal traffic one way or the other. Ultimately, this is a multi-specialty group, and the beauty of that is I work 15 feet away from the primary care doctors. I work 20 feet away from my wife, who's also in primary care.
See, that's perfect.
And not only that, we talk to each other. So not only do I talk to the primary care doctors, I talk to the gastroenterologists who are here. I talk to the neurologists,
Exactly.
and everyone else, and orthopedics downstairs.
So what I hear, Dr. Smalheiser, is it's a very collaborative practice, which is huge for us in the healthcare today. It's great for us. We want to thank you for joining us this early morning.
Yeah.
We want to thank all of you for joining us here too on Girl Talk. Have a wonderful week. Bye-bye. To reach Dr. Stuart Smalheiser or any of the other providers at Low Country Medical Group, please call 843-770-0404.